Welcome to VSWville, and now here is your host, VSW. VSWville, how you all doing? It is your boy, VSW here. Welcome back to the channel. And these are my predictions for this Sunday's WWE pay-per-view event, the horror show at Extreme Rules. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This year, Extreme Rules isn't just Extreme Rules. Oh, no. It's the horror show at Extreme Rules. And these are some of the matches that are going to take place this Sunday. So, let's talk about them. First up, we have Bayley, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions and the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion in WWE history, putting her title on the line against Nikki Cross. I love Nikki Cross when she's crazy. Crazy Nikki always rules. And on the June 26th episode of SmackDown, she defeated Lacey Evans, Dana Brooke, and her best friend Alexa Bliss in the Fatal 4-Way match to become #1 contender for Bayley's SmackDown Women's Championship. Would I like to see Nikki Cross win this Sunday? Sure. Do I think she will win? Nah. So, this Sunday, Bayley will walk in to the horror show at Extreme Rules as champion, and she will walk out as the champion. So Bayley, and still SmackDown Women's Champion. Next, Apollo Crews defending the United States Championship against one of the longest reigning U.S. champions in WWE history, Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP. MVP spoke to Apollo Crews about him wanting to be his manager if he wants to be the U.S. champion for a long time. But Apollo Crews said no every single time they had to talk about it. And on Raw, with the help of Bobby Lashley, MVP defeated Apollo Crews. And then the following week, MVP and Bobby Lashley revealed to all of us the U.S. Championship's new design, which looked alright. I dig it. So, this Sunday at the horror show at Extreme Rules, MVP will get the chance to become U.S. champion once again. I don't think it's going to happen, though. So, Apollo Crews and still the U.S. champion. Although, I would love to see Apollo Crews join MVP. Because Apollo Crews as a villain, yes, please. I would love to see that. But for now, I'll say Apollo Crews will retain the U.S. title this Sunday at the horror show at Extreme Rules. Next, the Universal Champion and the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, taking on Bray Wyatt in the Wyatt Swamp fight. And no, the Universal Championship will not be on the line. Because on SmackDown, Braun Strowman invited Bray Wyatt to meet him back at the Wyatt Swamp, where the whole Wyatt family thing began. And it's going to happen because Bray Wyatt resurrected his Wyatt self. You know, back when he was in the Wyatt family and he was like, "Follow the buzzards!" And he sings the song, "He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands." How did I do singing that song? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm a horrible singer, I know. But Braun Strowman as Universal Champion, I don't really like it. And I didn't like it when Braun Strowman defeated Goldberg at WrestleMania to win the title. Because it was supposed to be Roman Reigns versus Goldberg at WrestleMania for the Universal Champion. But Roman Reigns did the right thing and stayed at home to look after himself and his family. I love and respect him for that. And if I was him, I would have done the exact same thing. Because I care more about my family than a championship match at WrestleMania. And there's no way any of you can disagree with me when I say that. Which means the Fiend Bray Wyatt lost the Universal Championship at Super Showdown to Goldberg for absolutely nothing. The Fiend Bray Wyatt should have never lost the Universal Championship. He should still be the Universal Champion right now. But he's not. And I apologize for that. I need to stop doing stuff like that, so please forgive me. But long story short, Braun Strowman as Universal Champion, I hate it. But back to the Wyatt swamp fight, I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt to win. Next, Asuka defending the Raw Women's Championship against the boss and the other half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks swerved all of us real good because we all thought that Sasha Banks was going to challenge Bayley for her SmackDown Women's Championship at the horror show at Extreme Rules. But no! She instead challenged Asuka for the Raw Women's title because she wants to be a double champion too. And this week on Raw, Bayley and Sasha Banks defeated the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kyrie Sane, to retain the women's tag team titles. And on Raw Talk, Asuka will defend, or she says, or agrees about defending her title against Kyrie Sane if she successfully retains it this Sunday at the horror show at Extreme Rules. Will she retain? I think so. So I'm going to go with Asuka to retain the title. Sasha Banks becoming a double champion would be awesome. But Asuka and still Raw Women's Champion. And I forgot to say, she has been an amazing champion since winning it at Money in the Bank, because Becky Lynch announced her pregnancy, which meant that the Money in the Bank ladder match Asuka won wasn't really for a championship match at any time, at any place of her choosing. It was actually for the Raw Women's Championship. And I'm so happy to have her as the champion. And I'm glad she successfully defended it against Nia Jax twice. At Backlash, it was by a double countout, and then on Raw in the rematch, Asuka retained. Even though the referee was going to disqualify Nia Jax for shoving him. You don't ever shove a referee. That's a fine, maybe a suspension. I just wanted to say all that. And I know Becky Lynch is going to be an amazing mother. And I'd love to meet her one day because I love her so much. Always have loved her since her NXT. Well, not really since her NXT days. I have loved her since she made her main roster debut with Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair. And I always will love her, whether she's a babyface or a heel. And from the bottom of my heart, I mean that. Next, Drew McIntyre defending the WWE Championship against his former friend and partner, Dolph Ziggler. And this all happened on MVP's VIP Lounge. Drew McIntyre said that he would let Dolph Ziggler choose the stipulation for their match this Sunday at the horror show at Extreme Rules. But Dolph Ziggler is going to make us all wait until Sunday to find out what that stipulation is. And I think it was last week on Raw, Dolph Ziggler brought back Heath Slater, who cut a very good and emotional promo on Drew McIntyre. I love and respect Heath Slater, man. I hope he's doing good. Yo, Heath. Much love, dude. But yeah, this Sunday at the horror show at Extreme Rules, Drew McIntyre will retain the WWE Championship. Because Drew McIntyre has been the WWE Champion for over 100 days now, and he has been an amazing champion since defeating Brock Lesnar for it at WrestleMania. And he is going to retain it this Sunday at the horror show at Extreme Rules. And still, WWE Champion. Next, the final match for now, Rey Mysterio taking on the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, in the first ever Ojo Bojo match. And by Ojo Bojo, I mean eye for an eye. Because Ojo Bojo is eye for an eye in Spanish. But it's going to be WWE's first ever eye for an eye match. Because I think a month ago or 2 months ago on Raw, Seth Rollins damaged Rey Mysterio's eye by, pushing it onto the steel step. He was just like right onto the steel step. And since then, Rey Mysterio had one of his mask holes covered. So he's wrestling with one eye. And now this Sunday at the horror show at Extreme Rules, he is looking to make Seth Rollins pay by taking one of his eyes out, which is the only way to win an eye for an eye match, by removing one of your opponent's eyes. And Rey Mysterio says that's what he calls a sacrifice. Especially after what Seth Rollins did to Dominic and his eyes. And Dominic, speaking of which, attacked Seth Rollins while he was talking to Rey Mysterio. And what do y'all think? Will this Sunday night be the time Dominic finally turns on his father, Rey Mysterio, and joins the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins? Let me know down in the comments below. I think so. So for that, I'll say that the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, will get the victory in this first ever eye for an eye, Ojo Bojo match. And those are all the matches for this Sunday right now. If there are any more matches, I'll put them down in the description below. The match I'm looking forward to the most, Asuka versus Sasha Banks. The match I'm looking forward to the least, Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt. It's not even a match. It's the Wyatt swamp fight. So that'll quickly wrap up the horror show at Extreme Rules 2020 prediction video. What match are you looking forward to the most and least? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, God bless, take care, stay safe. Welcome to VSWville. I'm a pro wrestling fan forever, and that's the bottom line. Why? Because VSW said so. Take care of yourselves and your family and friends. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. And if you go outside today or any other day, please do me a favor. and wear a mask.